So this week lesson, we're going to learn about chapter 5, prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. So far, you have learned 4 chapters, and the 4 chapters also already come out for your ongoing test. So the chapter 5, 6, and 7 will come out for your final. So these are the subtopics of this chapter. There are a total of 6 subtopics. However, this week lesson is mainly regarding microscopy, the importance of compartmental organization, and nucleus. So at the end of this lesson, you should be able to identify and explain the principles of microscopy, identify the parts and functions of light and electron microscopes, identify, describe, draw, and label biological diagrams of prokaryotic, eukaryotic cells with their organelles. Okay. So you have learned about the microscopes. During your lab time also, you have learned about the light microscope and stereo microscope, correct?
Yes, madam.
So based on this week lesson, you should know the principles of microscopy, the parts and functions of the microscope, light and electron microscope, and then you should know how to draw and label the prokaryotic cell, eukaryotic cell together with their organelles, and also you should know their structure and function. Okay, so microscopes are the major tool in cytology field. Okay, cytology is the field regarding cell structure. There are few scientists that involved in the invention of microscopes. Zacharias Janssen, Anthony van Leeuwenhoek, Robert Hooke, and then the first microscope is light microscope. So the basic principles of microscopy are magnification and resolving power or resolution. Okay, so these are the two important parameters you should know their definition. Okay, so magnification means the ratio of an image, the ratio of an object's image to its real size. So what is the definition for resolving power or resolution? So resolving power means the measure of image clarity. Okay, so this is the minimum distance of 2 points that can be separated and you can view as the 2 separate points. Okay, resolution means the level of details that actually you can observe in any particular specimen. Okay, so this is limited by the wavelength of the light. So if let's say greater the resolving power, smaller the wavelength, so smaller the object. Remember these two parameters together with their definition. Okay, next is microscopy. Okay, microscopy can be classified into 2 types: light microscope and electron microscope. Here,
Yes, madam.
okay. So remember the parts of the light microscope together with their functions. Very important. So generally, light microscope use light rays to pass through the specimen. However, the electron microscope use beam of electrons. So this is the basic difference between light microscope and electron microscope. So light microscope, there are 2 types: compound light microscope and stereo or dissecting microscope. Okay, so these are the 2 microscopes you have learned during your lab. Okay, so I hope you already familiar about the parts and functions of the microscope, together how to use the microscope to observe the image. Okay, so this is the stereo microscope. So the basic difference between compound light microscope and stereo microscope. Stereo microscope used to see the 3D structure of the image and also used to observe the larger specimens. For example, Okay, you wanted to observe how the leaf structure look like. Okay, you can place directly the leaf, the flowers, or any of the insect on the stage of the stereo microscope. Okay, however, the compound light microscope is used to observe the small microscopic specimen. So normally you will use the slide to observe under the compound light microscope. There are two types of electron microscopes, right? The transmission and scanning electron microscope. Okay, so both also you remember use beam of electrons. Light microscopes, either compound or stereo microscope, use light rays. Okay, so this is the transmission electron microscope. Generally, the transmission electron microscope produce two-dimensional structure of image. So this is the image that you can get through the transmission electron microscope. Okay, generally, the transmission electron microscope used to observe the tiny sample of the specimen. Scanning electron microscope also, the beam of electrons passes through the surface of the specimen. However, it produces 3D structure of the image, and you can observe the surface of the specimen. However, the transmission is only can observe the tiny sample of the specimen. So this is the scanning electron microscope. Okay, so these are the image that you can observe through the scanning electron microscope. Okay, so as a summary, light microscope, either compound light or stereo microscope, use light rays. However, electron microscopes, either transmission or scanning electron microscope, use beam of electrons. Transmission electron microscope, they used to produce 2D structure of image, which will project on the fluorescent screen. The scanning electron microscope used to project the image on the TV monitor. Okay, so generally the structure of the image, generally you can observe the 3D structure of the image. The light microscope you directly can observe. Okay, these are the basic differences between the transmission and scanning electron microscopes. Okay, the second subtopic, okay, before you learn about the cell types, you should know about the cell theory. Okay, you have learned about the cell theory in chapter 1, correct? So what are the three main parts of the cell theory? All the living organisms composed of what?
One or more cells.
Yes, one or more cells. And then cell is the basic unit of structure. And how the many cells form, it from the pre-existing cells. Okay, so remember the cell theory. Okay. So why you have to know about the microscope before you learn about the cell types? Because the microscopes are the major tool that used to study the cell structure. Clear? Okay, there are two types of cells. Okay, there are two types of cells, either prokaryotes or eukaryotes. Okay, so prokaryotes is the first cell evolved before eukaryote. Okay? Pro means before, karyo means nucleus. It means prokaryote does not consist of nucleus since it evolved before nucleus. However, eukaryotes, I show the eukaryotes. Eukaryotes, U means true, karyo means nucleus. So eukaryotes consist of true nucleus. It evolved after the prokaryotes and also more advanced. So eukaryotes consist of nucleus. This is the basic difference between pro and eukaryotes. Okay. So you should know the structure and organelles of the prokaryote. It is very important. And also the differences between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell also you should know. Okay. So these are the structures of the prokaryotes. Prokaryotes consist of the, you can see clearly from their structure, prokaryotes consist of the outermost layer, that is capsule, and then it consists of the cell wall. Okay, cell wall underneath the capsule, and then they have plasma membrane which underneath the cell wall. Okay, cell wall of the prokaryotes made up of peptidoglycan. Peptidoglycan means consists of amino acid and polysaccharides. Then when you notice, right, okay, prokaryotes have the circular form of the DNA, okay, which embedded inside the cytosol, but not inside the nucleus. Because why? Prokaryotes does not have nucleus. So the circular form of DNA folded into the region called nucleus. Okay, and then they also have the circular double-stranded DNA known as plasmid, and then they also have the free-floating ribosomes. You can see like the dots inside the cytosol, free-floating in cytosol, the ribosomes, and then they also have the green color hair-like structure is pili, and then this is the flagella. Can you see the cursor that I'm pointing toward the flagella?
Yes, madam.
Okay, so this is the flagella. Flagella used to move. Okay, and the pili for the attachment. So the genetic materials of the prokaryotes inside the nucleus. So this is the examples of the prokaryotes: E. coli bacteria. Okay. So eukaryotes generally, okay, they have many organelles compared than the prokaryotes, and then the structures that found in the cytoplasm can be separated or classified into two groups: endomembrane system that consists of nuclear envelope, endoplasmic reticulum, and Golgi apparatus, organelles and membrane-derived structures such as ribosomes, mitochondria, chloroplast, lysosome, and etc. Okay, animals, plants, and fungi are eukaryotes. So this is the structure of eukaryotes. You should know how to draw the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells together with the label, and also you should know the structure of each of the organelles and also their function. It is very important. Okay, so eukaryotes have the nucleus. Nucleus is the largest and central organelle in the eukaryotes. Okay, and then nucleus is a double membrane bound organelle in eukaryotes. Prokaryotes, they does not have double membrane bound organelles. This is the mitochondria, lysosome, Golgi body, endoplasmic reticulum, okay, cytoplasm, and then the eukaryotic cells surrounded by cell membrane, plasma membrane. Okay. Some eukaryotic cells, they have cell wall, but they does not have capsules. So these are the few differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Okay. So you can explore, okay, you can refer the Campbell book and also any other biology reference book, okay, find out more differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Okay. It is very important and also common confused. Okay. So generally prokaryotic cell is more smaller than eukaryotic cell. Even in Campbell also mentioned prokaryotic cell, the size range from 0.1 until 5 millimeter or 1 until 10 millimeter. Then the genetic material I have explained in previous slide: circular form in prokaryote, linear DNA in eukaryote. Okay, so organelles, when you compare pro and eukaryotic cells, there are many membrane-bound organelles in eukaryotes compared than prokaryotes. And then there is no double membrane-bound organelles such as nucleus, mitochondria, chloroplast don't have inside the prokaryotic cell. However, eukaryotic cells have double membrane-bound organelles. Okay. Then prokaryotic cells have smaller size of the ribosome 70s, and here eukaryotic cell have 80s. Prokaryotic cell or organisms can be prokaryotic organisms have one cell or known as unicellular organism. Eukaryotic organisms can be unicellular or multicellular. Majority are multicellular and some unicellular. Okay, so these are the differences you should know. Okay, and then the nucleus is the largest and central organelle in eukaryotes, okay, which is absent in prokaryotes. Okay, so you remember the nucleus is actually double membrane bound organelle. So you should know the structure of the nucleus together with their function. Okay, so here when you notice the structure of the nucleus is smooth dark region and you can clearly see from the microscope. Okay, so this is the nucleus. Okay, and then nucleus surrounded by double membrane. Okay, and this is the nuclear envelope, okay, which has pores on the nuclear envelope, and then the nuclear envelope continue from the endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, so when you notice the structure of the nucleus, right inside you can see it's like tree-like structure. What is that? What is that? The tree-like structure. Can you see the cursor and pointing toward the tree-like structures inside the nucleus? It means which is inside the nucleoplasm. Okay, nucleoplasm is the fluid inside the nucleus, and then the tree-like structure is embedded inside the nucleoplasm. What is that? Anyone give a try? Class?
DNA.
Anybody? Any other answers? Okay.
Chromatin.
Yes, chromatin. Okay. Actually, chromatin make up the chromosome. That's why in chromatin, you can't see clearly the DNA. In chromosome, you can see clearly the DNA because it consists of dense DNA. Okay. So, nucleosome is actually fundamental unit of chromatin. So, the chromatin consists of nucleosome. Chromatin make up the chromosome. Can you see clearly? The tree-like structure is chromatin. Okay. So when they become as a chromosome, they have two sister chromatids attached together. Okay. So this is the nucleus and this is the nucleoplasm. Okay. So remember the structure. Try to draw the structure of the nucleus. Remember the functions of the structure. Okay. So generally the function of nucleus. The nucleus acts as a control center for all the cellular activity of the cell, and also it consists of the genetic material, and it also transmits the genetic information. Okay, so that's all regarding this quick lesson.